Arsenic in rice and its health effects. What is arsenic? Arsenic is an element that widely exists in Earth's crust. Arsenic can be produced by natural movements or by human activities such as mining and the use of arsenic-containing pesticides. In nature, arsenic can be found in different forms in the soil, air, and water. The inorganic forms of arsenic are the most toxic, and they can easily dissolve in water. Arsenic in drinking water. Arsenic in drinking water is a serious public health problem. As previously mentioned, inorganic arsenic is highly soluble in water. This map from the U.S. Geological Survey shows naturally occurring arsenic levels in the groundwater across the country. Groundwater in some areas is heavily contaminated. Therefore, proper treatment is necessary to remove the arsenic from the water before it is consumed. Fortunately, the safety of public drinking water in the United States is safeguarded by the EPA, which states that the level of inorganic arsenic in water should not exceed 10 parts per billion. Certain foods are another major source. Marine foods usually contain a high level of organic arsenic, which is less toxic. Inorganic arsenic is more concerning and can be found in some vegetables, fruits, and especially rice. Acute exposure to high levels of arsenic can cause skin rashes, stomach ache, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and even death when the dose is extremely high. Acute exposures to high levels of arsenic is very rare, though. Low-dose chronic arsenic exposure is more of a concern to the general population and can cause skin lesions, cardiovascular disease, and cancers of the skin, bladder, kidney, and lung. These health effects can happen all of the time, even when the arsenic level is fairly low. To make matters worse, infants and children are more vulnerable to arsenic exposure. Rice accumulates higher concentration of arsenic than other staple foods during growth. Since rice is a semi-aquatic plant, it grows in flooded soil. Rice can take up arsenic from both the water and the soil, allowing it to accumulate arsenic much more readily than other staple foods. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration conducted 2 samplings for rice in the U.S. market in 2012 and 2014. They found that the inorganic arsenic exposure in rice could range from 20 all the way up to 254 parts per billion, which is higher than the limit for drinking water of just 10 parts per billion. Rice is a popular staple food. Brown rice, white rice, infant rice cereal, rice and its products are very common throughout our daily lives. Rice is the main staple food in many regions of the world and is also consumed by billions of people. In the US, some populations, such as the Asian American or Mexican American populations, have a very rice-rich diet, and rice is even commonly used to produce infant cereal. Based on their rice exposure, many populations can have different levels of arsenic exposure. A study published in 2017 estimated the daily exposure to inorganic arsenic in many US populations. Asian Americans, who have the highest rice consumption, also had the highest daily exposure to inorganic arsenic. Inorganic arsenic in the Asian American populations tends to be higher because the population consumes more rice. As you can see by this graph, arsenic exposure from drinking water is pretty consistent across populations. However, we see that the Asian American population has significantly more exposure to arsenic by rice consumption. This effect is even more pronounced when we examine the parts of the population which consumes more rice, as you can see by the upper bound on the error bar on the graph. In these individuals, arsenic exposure from rice even predominates the exposure from drinking water. In summary, among high rice consumers, rice intake may contribute even more than water to arsenic exposure, and could even be the major source of oral arsenic exposure. Thank you for watching. Should you have any questions about this, please contact Dr. Shao by the email on your screen. Thanks for watching.